to Spice Isle Cafe for yet another episode of Carolyn's Cooking. I know Neil would say otherwise, but you know it's really Carolyn's Cooking. Baking right now. And today we are doing Grenadian turnovers, or as some of the islands call it, coconut rolls. So it's a nice bread-like structure where you have that swirl in the middle with coconut, and you can put color in so that you can give it that pink texture and color rather. So that is what we're doing today. Over here we have all the ingredients ready for the bread. I say bread because this type of dough requires yeast as the rising agent, as opposed to currant roll, which was in our last episode, that didn't require any kind of rising agent whatsoever. And on the other side over here, we have some the ingredients for the coconut, and I will definitely start on that in a while, but I want to get started on the flour so it can rest and rise while we work on the coconut filling for our Grenadian turnovers. So
you mean Antigua? Anything turnover in this house is Antigua now.
Anything that I make in this house, Neil really think it originated from Antigua. All right, so let's get started without further ado. Today we are not going to have any collab friends. It's just Carolyn alone. So that is okay, but another time you can definitely have some friends who would love to collab with me as I cook, so that you can do it step by step. All right, we were going to move over here so I can start on the mixture for our turnovers. Okay, we are going to start with 3 cups of all-purpose flour. If you are in the Caribbean, or maybe in other parts of the world like England, we call that counter flour as well, so it's all-purpose here. So I'm just going to dump all my flour in, and I am using a mixer because, hey, why not? I was blessed with this mixer from my Christmas gift by my husband. See, I'm giving you a shout out.
You could just say buy an Antigua.
Oh my goodness. So I am just gonna use that. Now if you do not have a mixer, you just use a bowl with all, you know, and your fingers, or a spatula or something, okay? So yeah, I'm putting in, did I put all, so this is 2.5 cups of flour, about, you just, so now about 3 cups of flour. Let me rest this here because I would need some for later.
Tamika is giving you a shout out.
Hi Tamika, thank you all for joining in Spice Isle Cafe. Today we're doing Grenadian turnovers and I am mixing the dough. We have 3 cups of flour. I am going to put a pinch of salt, or you know, like a teaspoon. It could be a little bit more. And I am just going to mix that. I have the paddle attachment here, and I'm just going to mix that together, and then I'm going to put the butter in. All right, so it doesn't need a lot. Now we are making Grenadian turnovers, and I'm doing the dough for that. 3 cups of flour. I have the salt in there. I just mixed it, and now I am going to put in some butter. The butter is unsalted, and I like this brand, this Kerrygold. It's an Irish butter. I love baking with that because it just helps all of my pastries come out beautiful. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put the butter in here and mix that up. I have a little bit more left in here. Can they see inside the bowl?
Oh, yeah man. Don't worry about that. Everything on rock.
All right, so I mixed some flour, a pinch of salt, and now I'm putting in the butter. I'm gonna just mix that in. Alright, so I'm just gonna take this spatula and kind of just mix this up. Now I'm gonna change out the paddle attachment, and I'm going to use the hook. Alright. I'm going to use the hook because now we're going to make a well in the flour mixture before it's time to do the mixing. So here is it. I just make a well in here. I put some flour, a pinch of salt, butter, and I am making that well in so I can put the yeast. Okay? So I'm going to put the yeast in now and then mix everything up and add extra water. I'm adding extra water as we go along so that it all comes together.
Tina was saying he's digging the kitchen, giving a shout out.
Oh, thank you all for joining in.
Tamika says she's secretly jealous of the mix-up. Connie's giving you a shout out, saying do things, Carol.
Thanks for all the support and love. I am going to add a little bit more flour because I pour a little bit of water, or I should say extra water in there. So I'm going to put some flour and just have that mix again. So thank you for joining in. If you are joining in for the first time, welcome, welcome. This is Spice Isle Cafe, and I am doing coconut rolls or Grenadian turnovers as we call it.
Or Antiguan turnovers as it should be called.
I am just mixing some extra flour in here. And then I'm gonna leave the dough to rest. And we will go from there. Thank you all for joining in. We are making turnovers. All right, I think let me just do it just a little bit. Okay, great. So, nice and pliable dough. I am going to put that. I'm just going to cover it really. Until late, I'm just going to cover it with a clean towel. Okay, so this is the dough coming together. I'm just going to kind of take my hand, since I just washed it, and kind of just pull it together so it stays into that ball-like structure. And I'm just going to cover it.
So Gabe was asking if you're using regular bread yeast.
Yes.
And to Tamika, yes, it is about me. She's saying it's not about me, so leave me alone.
All right, I'm going to give another hand wash here. While the dough is resting, I am going to start on the coconut filling. Okay? So if you are just joining in, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining Spice Isle Cafe. I am doing Grenadian turnovers or coconut rolls, as some other Caribbean island call it. I just mixed the dough, it's resting, and now I'm going to move over so that we can start on the coconut filling. All right. So all you need, let me turn my light on here. So you need like a medium pan. Medium pan right here. And or pot. I say a pan, but it's island talk. So a medium pot, I grated one coconut finely. And I'm gonna just put it in here. I'm gonna put like a cup or cup and a quarter sugar. I'm gonna put cinnamon stick here and some bay leaves, okay? And some bay leaves, and I'm gonna put these all in the pot at the same time with like a half a cup of water. And then I'm gonna turn it on and let that boil.
Gabe was asking if all of these recipes are up on your blog.
Yes, so I do have this on spiceislecafe.com. You can definitely check that out. And look for Grenadian turnovers. That's what I have it as on the blog so that you can get there, okay? If you are just joining in, thank you so much. I'm making Grenadian turnovers or coconut rolls. And I have the dough resting. And I have started on the filling for the coconut rolls. So in the meantime, you can ask questions. I would show you once everything starts boiling and coming together. Definitely I would let you know about the different steps. So I hope you guys definitely try out this recipe at some point. Thank you all for joining in again, and welcome to Spice Isle Cafe. We're doing turnovers, Grenadian turnovers or coconut rolls, and the dough is resting, and I have the filling going.
So, how you know I don't listen. So how long we gonna have to wait on that thing to boil?
It will start boiling soon. As soon as it starts boiling, everything
But what
will
is
come
soon?
together.
Soon is not a time.
Soon is a time. Everyone's stove is a little bit different.
But
so
this is your stove.
my husband gives a lot of trouble, can you tell?
But what I know is that the question hasn't been answered.
Well, we don't know. It might be 5 minutes or so. The water, once the water starts boiling, remember there's filling. It's not just boiled water now. You have coconut in there and spices in there and
If it was me,
sugar
I
in
would actually be able to give it.
So yeah, in about 5 minutes this is going to start boiling, and then I would give it a stir and let it. This is one thing you don't want to keep mixing and mixing. You give it a stir and you just let it boil. If you need to add a little bit more water, you can. So what I'm going to do is to put on a pot of hot water. Because that's a trick my mom always taught me. Anytime you're cooking, you need to have like some hot water going. So I'm going to put on a kettle right now.
So Carol was asking, he's saying that he's assuming that you're going to mail the results to him.
Oh my goodness, well, let's see about that. Let's see if he's on his best behavior. Is he on his best
Is
behavior?
Carol ever on his best behavior? I don't even know if he knows what that means.
Oh my goodness, thank you all for joining in. There are people from Canada, Ohio, California, Grenada, Antigua. Thank you all for joining in. Welcome to Spice Isle Cafe. We're doing Grenadian turnovers or coconut rolls.
You keep
dough is
saying
resting,
Grenadian
the
turnovers.
dough is resting,
I said
and-
anything done in this house is Antiguan.
Oh my goodness. If you say so, honey. And the filling for the dough, I almost lost my friend off top because my husband is.
You have to stay focused.
Yes, and the filling is going. So, you might want to come over and show the people that everything started boiling up already. I have it on medium heat, and I will definitely, let me turn on this side. I'm going to give it one stir and maybe pour a little bit extra water. So I put a half a cup of water to start, but I'm definitely going to add another half cup, but I'll wait for that water to boil and then just pour it in here, okay? So we see that, look at how the sugar start looking already, okay?
That's almost like how I would do it.
All right, so I'm just gonna leave this here, and once this water boils, I'm gonna throw some extra water in there. Thank you all for joining. If this is your first time, welcome to Spice Isle Cafe, and I am doing Grenadian turnovers, or as we call it, coconut rolls in some other countries. All right. The dough is resting, and I'm presently making the filling for the coconut rolls. I'm also going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees. So once everything comes together, we can bake this baby up. Okay, Google, turn on oven to 350 degrees.
Sure.
So if you can see how this is bubbling, can the people see?
Yeah, man, yeah, man.
Okay, so you see how this is bubbling? This is what you want, but it definitely needs some extra water because you need water to cover the coconut, but right now there is more coconut than water, so as soon as this boils, I'll definitely pour some extra water in here. I have cinnamon stick and bay leaves boiling, and at some point, very soon, I will add the coloring, because if you add it too early, you're not gonna get a color. It's just gonna like evaporate or something. So if you are just joining in, thank you so much. This is Grenadian Coconut Rolls and on Spice Isle Cafe.
So I have questions. Is this one of those that you can add the sacred ninja ingredient, aka aniseed, too? If I was doing this, I would add
I would
aniseed.
say some people do. You could add, sometimes back home we would add almond essence or extract to that, vanilla essence, and maybe in this case you can add aniseed essence, but you have to remember star anise is a bit strong, so if you are adding star anise essence to that, you have to add just a tad, maybe a quarter teaspoon, if all that, to the recipe, or else it's going to be way too potent.
That's a long answer for my question.
Well, I have to give in detail what it is. So again, welcome everyone to Spice Isle Cafe. We're making Grenadian turnovers, and I have everything ongoing here. The dough is rising, and the filling is on the stove. So I'm definitely on the move, and the oven is preheating at present. So even though earlier I said don't keep stirring this, I am only stirring just because we don't have enough water yet, and I'm waiting for this water to boil so I can pour just a little bit again, so that things don't stick at the bottom of the pot. If you have any questions, you can make sure and put it in the live. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions that's related to coconut turnovers or coconut rolls, as some of the other Caribbean islands call it, and just let me know.
So do you know what we're doing next after this one?
So after this one, we might do kumar. I don't want to give people false hope, but definitely we might try and do kumar. I'm putting in just about another half cup of water in here right now in my filling, and I'm going to let this boil. I have bay leaves and cinnamon stick in here, and then I am going to, once this starts going down a little bit, I'm going to add some drops of food coloring. I'm using red food coloring so I can get that color when I spread out the rolls. Okay, if you are just joining in, thank you so very much for making Grenadian turnovers or coconut rolls as some Caribbean islands.
So of course you had me at Puma. I know it's not what we're doing now, but I just wanted to let people know.
That's how I hold him in college.
No.
He loved, I used to go over with the paper bags all full, like knock on his door and be like, oh, there's something on the table for you, love you, bye.
Kuma is a high sugar recipe. It's great for people who have young ones. You definitely give it to them, it charge them up.
Alright, this is the stage where I would put in, so I would say 10 minutes into this coconut boiling and me adding some extra water and everything is where I would put in the food coloring and give it a stir. I know exactly the color I'm looking for. It may take me a couple of drops, so whatever color fits best with you, you just need to drop and stir to see if you need that, okay? Okay, so right now I have about, I would say maybe 5 to 6 drops in here. So that's good, but I may put a little bit extra just because I like mine pink. When it bakes in the oven, it reduces the color. So you have to put just a little extra color. Let's say you usually use 6 drops, but when you bake, you realize it's lighter than you want, put 8 drops. Okay, and that's what I'm doing. Alright, I think this should be a good color right now. Any other questions? You guys feel free to ask them. Yes. And in a little bit, I will definitely take the bay leaves and the cinnamon stick out. The last thing I will do is to add the extract in the filling and then leave it on the side to cool and wait for the stove to be up to scratch, and I will roll out the dough and we'll get cracking. Thank you so much for joining in, and we are doing coconut rolls or turnovers, Grenadian turnovers as we call it home.
So about how much longer before all of this ready for me?
Neil has limited patience. He just wants to eat. He wants to reach the end where we start cutting up and everything looks beautiful,
hey,
but it's a process.
Make sure you pay attention to what's going on in the pot. Don't get distracted.
I know what's happening, okay? So I will take out my cinnamon stick. Let me put on some gloves so I can take that out because I want to be safe. Even though it's plastic gloves, it doesn't really do much for heat. Oh my goodness. All right, my lovely people, thank you all for joining in. I hope this is a nice, relaxed session after a hard days of work. I am just going to take out the bay leaves right now. So I had dry bay leaves that my mom sent me. Thank you, Mom. And I am going to take those out, and I'm going to also take out the cinnamon stick. It's covered in all the loveliness. So I'm just going to like scoot it all down. And take these out. Because you just want the flavor from these things. You don't want it to cook, to leave leave extra pieces in there. So right now I'm just gonna let this continue boiling.
So Esther was saying if she leave home now, she'll get here by the time it comes out the oven. I
well, that's
know.
true. If she leaves home now, literally, because this takes 30 minutes in the oven, for sure. I am just going to get all my other things prepared in the meanwhile while this is simmering down. If you are just joining in, welcome, welcome to Spice Side Cafe. I'm doing Grenadian turnovers and I have everything going. The filling is boiling and the dough is resting, okay? So I'm just gonna get my egg wash. I will get the rest of my flour to dust and have everything ready.
So Tina was saying if only Neil could cook this good, but I am trying to explain to Tina that, and you should tell the people while we're on cam now, tell them the truth. I taught you everything you know.
I met you only 9 years ago, so.
Hey, that's too much info and so out there now.
Well,
you don't know.
11 years ago, but
how you can give them so much details?
Because you're putting our business out there.
You know the amount of people after me?
What have you done that I need to know about?
I am a very important person in this community, you know.
Oh my goodness.
A very respected individual in this community.
My husband, if you guys want him to
focus
spend a
on,
day with you,
we're on the
let me
coconut
know.
tart.
I'll send him over.
We have to focus on the coconut tart. Let's go.
So again, my people, I am making coconut turnovers or coconut rolls, as some Caribbean islands call it. The filling is on the pot, just doing its thing, and I have the dough resting. I am just preparing the other necessary condiments for the filling of the dough before I roll everything together. So I have an egg here I'm going to beat, and then I am going to melt some butter and all of that. So this is really coming together. Once you see it start drying almost to the point where it's about to turn like sugar cake, and the water is disappearing, then you would turn off the stove. Just another 5 minutes or so, and definitely I will turn off the stove. But in the meanwhile, I'll melt some butter. And I am using Kerry Gold brand. Now this brand is beautiful. I love this brand. It is a great brand for baking for sure.
So, Howard is sending his respects from Antigua.
Oh, Antigua and Posse in the house. Hail up, hail up.
Yeah.
So I'm just melting my butter, maybe a 15 seconds or so, and then I will get things going.
Let me see. So I don't understand now. Why wasn't the butter melted before?
No, if the butter melts, it will just it will go back to its original form if you do it too early. So if you know that you cannot melt the butter 20 minutes ahead of time and that kind of stuff, because it will just go back to its original form, and then you have to melt it over again. So to avoid double work.
I know that, no, but just for those who don't know, you know?
Well, they know now. Okay, so I'm just making sure I have my different brushes out, ready to go. If you are just joining in, we are making coconut rolls, and I am just preparing all what I need for that to come together. Okay, thank you all for taking the time off your busy day and schedule. I am going to turn the oven off right now because, as you can see, there is hardly any water in the pot at this point, so I'm going to turn off the oven. the stove. And to help it cool even faster, I'm gonna just wash out one of the bowls real quick and just put it in that.
Yeah. So Howard was saying he joined a little late, so he was wondering if it's food coloring that you put in the mix.
Yes, I did. I used this McCormick food coloring. I used red, and I put about 8 little drops of that in there. Now you can stop at 6, but I wanted it vibrant. When you bake it, you lose some color, so add some more so that.
I normally use 7 though.
Neil is just trying to be difficult.
Just facts.
Jeez. I held the food coloring and I stained my hand because I'm like, no, my hand is not cut. So I'm gonna wash that out real quick.
See, and you laugh at me when I wear my gloves in the kitchen.
Yeah, I should have put on. I just held it right at the top.
But you didn't.
So I'm just gonna wash my hand so you don't think I cut my hand. I didn't. It's just food coloring, y'all. Food coloring. All right, thank you all for joining again. This is Spice Isle Cafe. We're doing coconut turnovers or coconut roll as some islands call it. This is the beautiful color. I probably should show it here as well. Beautiful color, and show it to you. Beautiful color. I am just putting everything to cool off. And then we are going to start creating magic. Shout out to all my Grenadian posse, my family watching from home, Canada, my friends in whether it's New York, California, Ohio, just hail up to everyone.
Sorry, I didn't.
I'm going to get my rolling pin out. Just getting everything nice and ready so that we can.
I don't know why the rolling pin wasn't out before.
No, you don't.
I would have had everything out already. But it's not me. You know?
Exactly, it's not you.
I'm giving you a chance.
It's not you. My goodness. All right, my people, we are getting ready to. The oven has preheated to 350 degrees. If you see my fingers are red, that's because it's food coloring. I promise you I didn't cut my hands. Welcome to Spice Isle Cafe. Okay, people, I'm going to now take.
Katie Bright is giving a shout out from Texas.
Oh, hi, Carolyn. Shout out from Texas, my Texas posse.
I hope it's not
Dallas.
just now she's joining us, because I find that she's late.
All right, y'all. So I am just going to roll out this beautiful dough. It's a little bit sticky right now, but that's okay. You can give your dough way more time to rest, but for the sake of this video, I am moving at a faster pace. So I am just gonna roll this dough out. We're making Grenadian turnovers. When you're doing this, you have to do the dough as if it's if you're making bread, really. So this is beautiful. Look at this, nice and pliable, and you're just gonna mix it all. Make sure you're nice and full. Oh, you could get the stress out this way. If you have a husband like mine, then you would just be kneading dough a whole lot. Oh my goodness, no, he's good.
I'm not good. I'm like Tony the Tiger. I'm great.
Oh my goodness. I was giving you a compliment, but apparently you don't want it, huh?
Oh, you're gonna give me what's rightfully mine.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Take it.
So I'm rolling out this dough. Welcome, everyone. I am rolling out this dough to make Grenadian turnovers, or as some islands call it, coconut rolls. So just knead the dough as if you're making bread, and you can check the recipe out on spiceislecafe.com. And after you knead the dough, let it rest for a bit. You know, do your coconut filling, and then you roll it out here as I'm rolling, and then we are going to fill it, tuck and roll method, and put it in the oven to bake for about 30 minutes or so, and we'll be ready to go. Thank you all for joining in. We're almost there, y'all. Almost there. Thank you all for taking out of your busy day. Woo! Look at this dough. Listen, if you cannot tell that I love cooking, I don't know. Trust me, I am in love with cooking and baking. I mean, now it's baking, but. So yeah, if you guys can smell this house, I'm telling you. Okay, beautiful. So, I am going to definitely use a knife just to cut out the extra. I always try to cut off extra pieces. Everything is going to be nice and puffed. Okay, so the first thing you do when you have this nice and all laid out, you paste on that butter. This good old butter. Everything is better with butter. Yes, and cooks and bakers love butter. So yes, you put the butter on. Beautiful work. Can you tell that I give myself the praises and accolades?
It reminds me of my kind of handiwork.
Oh my goodness.
It comes close. I'm not going to say exactly the same.
Okay, so when you're finished with this, that's a beautiful thing. You don't have to add extra spices. That's why we put the spice in here. And now all I have to do is just put, oh, look at that beauty. It looks like sugar cake. Could you believe this? Sugar cake on a dough, basically. All right. We're just gonna lay it out nicely. Lay out everything. If you are just joining in and you're wanting to know what are these people doing, I am making coconut rolls, or coconut turnovers as we would call it. I have everything laid out here nicely. And I just put the filling in, and I'm making sure it's distributed throughout. I'm going to cut out the extra, because you don't just want to eat dough. You want that beautiful taste of the coconut in the bites that you're going to take.
I remember when I taught you that in college.
Okay. All right, now.
You remember when you used to make this and forget to put in the food coloring until I told you about that?
Never did.
Oh, okay.
Never did, unless I was making it with brown sugar. Okay, I'm just gonna cut off some extra here, and I'm gonna start the rolling process, kind of like what I spoke about with the currant roll. You tuck and roll, just taking out just a little bit of extra here. All right. Okay, so I am picking up the sides, the front, and I'm just tucking it in. Tucking it in. Again, we are making coconut rolls or turnovers, and I'm just gonna push this gently. Because remember, this dough is a yeast dough. It's like making bread. And you just wanna make sure it's nice and beautiful. Again, same kind of process of the tuck and roll method. All right, so I'm gonna grab my sheet, and when we reach the end, I'm gonna just kind of wet my fingers just a little bit and just pinch as we go along. And I am gonna ask my lovely husband to grab me that sheet over there real quick.
So now you need a man.
Oh my goodness, yes, now I need a man.
That's right. You used to say I could do that all by myself.
Well, I could.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
I am just making sure that you feel like there is some form of work for you to do here. Okay,
right.
So now that I have this, I am just going to lift it up so I can put the seam in the bottom. This is going to be kind of tricky. It's always tricky at this stage, y'all. Always tricky at this stage. So I start to rest it down here sometimes. Okay, so I have it down. I'm trying my best to turn the seam around, but today it doesn't want to let me do that. So that's fine. And I am just gonna, okay. It's too long to just go straight, so I have to bend it. And I am going to definitely paste it on. And I'm doing an egg wash on here. If you don't want eggs, that's fine. How to take this coconut rolls out of the oven. Mind you, it is, don't get scared. It is not, as smooth, but once you cut it, you'll get the swirls and it's gonna taste lovely, okay? Can you people see that I'm about to open the stove and take it out?
I'm gonna make sure that they can. All right. So go ahead.
Are they gonna see from here?
Yeah, we got you. Everything on lock.
Okay, it's quite interesting looking, but all right, y'all. So this is, it looks like it's dancing here, and that's okay. But it's cooked. There is the golden brown color already, and I'm gonna give it a few minutes, and then I'm gonna cut it, and you will see the swirls and the layers of coconuts through the dough. Remember, we made a yeast dough, and then I fill it with, I paste the butter and then put the coconut filling that we made on here. And you know what? How about we just give it a cut? Normally you need to leave it to rest a little bit, but I want you to see it because I know you guys have been with me. I'm cutting on the diagonal. Wait, this piece is too in the end, so you cannot really see the beauty just yet. And I am going to cut, there it is, from this end.
Yeah, there's those swirls.
So you see the swirls that you get here, the different layers, and the beautiful bread-like texture in between those. So here I am. So you don't have to worry with how it looks when it's coming out. It don't have to be a smooth log. Once you can get those swirls, you know it's fully cooked, and this baby is going to be done before you know it.
So you know we have to get the taste test, right?
Yeah, it's really hot. It's piping hot. I am actually.
We're talking about the coconut top, not me, right?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Honey, you're hot, but you're not
on.
piping hot.
Oh.
You're.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That's an all right burn.
Oh my goodness! Thank you all so much. I hope that you all try this recipe. I am just cutting. I know I should really let this rest for a little bit longer, but I want to dig in. I want you to see the swirls, and I want you to give this a try whenever you can. You can already tell that this is not going to last very long because it's so gorgeous when we cut it all up, and we're about to dig in. All right then, so this is the end product basically here. Can the people see it?
Yep.
This is the end product with all the beautiful swirls and everything. As I said, don't look at the log.
So Tamika is saying it looks delicious.
Thank you all.